If you're trying to learn planche or any other calisthenics skill, you've probably already had a lot of bad days in your training where you don't have any energy, where you don't have any strength, and that's completely normal. Because I also started training planche and I thought doing the drills, doing dirty volume work, and doing whatever some guy said on YouTube would be enough. But after training planche around 3 to 6 months, you realize it's not a linear process. Short term, you have so many bad days where you just ask yourself, why am I even doing this? Am I even made for this? Am I too tall? Am I too fat? And the truth is, no, you're not, of course, because once you realize it's more about the mental aspect in this sport or in any sport or any field of life, you will learn it so much faster. Because what most guys do is they attach to this emotion of thinking, oh, I didn't make any progress this week, now I will never be able to planche. But I'll tell you this, guys, the most successful athletes or the highest level athletes, they're probably the stupidest people I know. Why? Because they don't think about it. They just do. They don't care if they have a bad week, right? They just train. They don't approach this whole thing with logic and say, if I train this for this amount of time, then I will have it. No, they just do. They don't think. But I know how you feel, and I know how frustrating that can be if you don't see any progress, even if it's short term. But you have to see the bigger picture here. You have to compare yourself over the past 6 months and see, where was I 6 months ago, and have I even moved forward in my dream skill or in any field of life? Have I gained the necessary weight? Right? It doesn't matter to compare week to week. Not really. Because here comes the quote, all greatness comes from suffering. And calisthenics is a perfect example. You're suffering so long for a 3-second skill that you can perform somewhere in public, right? But you have to accept this suffering and this amount of frustration, right? And accept and see that it's worth going through. It's worth seeing the bigger picture over the next 5 years, and see in 5 years it will all be paid off. The most important thing is just that you detach from this emotion of saying to yourself, oh, short term, I didn't make any progress. See the bigger picture.